Okay, shall we stop the music? Okay, folks, shall we start that thing? Yeah? Cool, cool. Okay, how are we gonna do that? We're about to spend an hour together, no? So before I say who I am, maybe I ask, who of you is here because comes from the community that I operate from? Can I see the hands? Oh, okay, okay. Who is student at Heritage Academy? Okay, great, great. So for all the others that didn't lift up their hand, this is made for students as the main audience. And that is made as seeing the student body as another type of body, not as a student body. So this information actually can circulate to everybody, okay? Who of you knows what a drag house is? So to know how much I have to... Okay, that's quite a lot. It's around 50%. And last question, who of you actually owns their own house in Amsterdam right now? Okay, 4 hands, because a lot they are shy. I wish we live in the other times. That basically, you know, we don't know what a drag house is and people can own their own house, but apparently they cannot. So, okay, let's start. Thank you for coming. I'm Taka Taka. No, it's fine, it's fine. So who am I, or how do I function? I function as a drag mother, but mainly as an art director or creative director of Club Church, and consequently as well from the House of Hopelezz, which is the oldest house established in the Netherlands from 2003 through our mother Jennifer Hopelezz. And here I need the scream. A lot, we're gonna do that a lot today, you know? Where I'm coming from the club scene. So we are kind of used to it. But let me tell you something about, what is it? Because it's a bit of social art directing, right? So I'm the biggest fan of the House of Hopelezz. That might be why I'm the director or the producer of them. And I'm very lucky and very privileged that I can have an income through that. So I can see their shows weekly, and at the same moment, I'm the fan of them. So today, how we're going to do it, the door is gonna stay open. So whatever time you're going to go to the loo, or you're going to go to pick up a drink, or you want to go and not come back, or come back, feel free with that, okay? Nobody's keeping you hostage here. It's not a theater, or it's not another type of place. I don't know. So feel free with that. One, I thought in the start not having any type of camera, because there are going to be a lot of stories that are going to be shared. But I know a lot of you, so if you place your camera out, no, it's fine, it's fine. Just take photographs and no videos, because we live in the times of from disseminating information, contaminating information for 6 seconds. And that can be very, very tricky. So like, just make some photos if you want to make, okay? So let me see, yeah. I've been invited here. I'm not working with a contract to Heritage Academy. I've been invited from Jorinde and Hjort, that are part of the Studium Generale program, and together with Tara and Thomas from Heritage Academy decide that, as well with Doreen and Anouk from Stedelijk. And it's a reason that I call their names only the first names, because the situation is gonna be pretty informal. So, let's say, yeah, do you know what a stage kitten is? Yeah, so a stage kitten comes from the burlesque scene, and it's somebody, like a sister or Allah, that can come, pick up things and help around the stage. So I would like to have Countess. Where is Countess? Come here, baby. This is Countess. Countess is my newborn. It's like two weeks old. This is true. This is why the teeth coming out very fast. And Countess, actually, I know Countess from 2015. We're part of the same scene, but also is a student from the orientation year, which is another type of life. I think Marek van der Wadering is the director of the program. I used to study with Marek together. So if Marek doesn't treat you well, bite him one time. If he treats you well, bite him twice. Okay, baby? Cool. So Candace is gonna be in and out that frame, and you can go to sit. And Candace is paid for that, so it's a job. to be a stage kitten. And as well, today, all the people that I invite that actually come from structures that I operate. So it's people that I know personally. And when once per while that I end up curating something, it's only people that I know personally and I work with. So I want to say that we're not searching for visibility because Club Church is 1.5 kilometers away. So we have our venue, we're okay, we do what we do, but it's other type of economies or data that they can function as well, putting that in our CV, on our bio. For some can function well for funding later or other ways. So it's a kind of equal exchange with the museum that we do here, at least for ourselves and our community. So and I have to say, like, thank you very much, Arthur, and thank you very much as well, Tom. Is our technical team. Can I have an applause for them? Very nice. So, Arthur and Tom, this is a live program. We know, we discussed it before, you know. Nobody's gonna lose millions if we lose a queue. Hopefully nobody's gonna go to hospital, so it's all chill. If something doesn't work, we're together on this, okay? So it's an hour, things can go wrong, so it's fine. I would like to invite firstly my sister, Angelina Loqui, to ground the place with me. And it's a habit we have, we're doing it every Sunday or when we meet. So Angelina, thank you for coming. Yeah, you have also a Snoopy, very nice. Later. She doesn't want yet. So, yeah, maybe we play the music slowly. And let's ground the space until Thank you, Angelina Loqui. Thank you for coming, baby. And thank you for coming with fever all the way from Harlem. As I promised to you, my tutor Gustavo is there for you waiting. So, okay. I think we feel a little bit more grounded, or at least I do. So let's invite on stage my mother, Jennifer Hopelezz. Herun, check in and out the door if more people coming on one point. I know we're packed. I don't know about your fire policy, but if it's packed, it's packed. But see if there... We have? Okay, so we're here, okay. Hey. Nice.
Hi, Annie.
So,
hello, everyone. Complete being here.
So, let me tell to them, not who she is. You can find her on the internet or around the city. She's doing this thing for more than 20 years. What she means to me. So like I graduated from relatively in 2013, and this one I graduated as a hyperactive, ambitious young artist, and I think you transformed me to hyper-dragtivist. Within 10 years, I think that we know each other and we work together next to each other. You are my mother, you are my employee. Maybe in the future, you never know. Come closer, come closer. So like, you're my employer, and you really a lot of things to me, but I'm also the byproduct of you. I just came out as a product or byproduct, because drag as a person, a drag performer for me is always a production of 3 to 4 people, like as you are a production of your partner, like I'm a production of you, I'm a production of my bloodline mother, specifically with her clothes and all, of Nikki Milioni that was with me for 7 years, of my current partner. So it's a lot of people behind that thing that they also have to stand with us. But enough, I'm gonna start my time because we have 10 minutes, so it's gonna happen. 10 minutes show, 10 minutes show, 10 minutes show, okay? So let's start.
Okay, perfect.
So, today we're going to talk about PrEP.
That's right, yeah.
What is PrEP?
PrEP, yeah, well, I don't know, does everyone know what PrEP is? Or did people not know what PrEP is? No, okay, everyone knows. Well, PrEP actually stands for pre-exposure prophylactic, and it's a pill that you take either daily or intermittently that stops you getting HIV. And it's been around since about 2012 or earlier, in San Francisco especially, and in Holland we've been fighting to get it introduced here. And yeah, finally this August, after almost 10 years of fighting, it's going to be available in the GGD's health department.
So like,
took a long time.
You are the chairperson of PrEP New, PrEP Now, which is an organization.
Yeah, we started the, so it started as like a real grassroots activist group in about 2014.
Okay.
And it was mainly instigated with people from the HIV Vereniging, HIV Union, and they got together and invited me to join. And a couple of years later, we became a real foundation, and we've been going around actually promoting it, but people didn't know what it was back in 2014. And so informing people, but also lobbying the local government, but also the national government. And yeah, so it's been a long...
Well, let me ask you, why do you need a pill to prevent HIV? You got condoms, right?
Yeah, that's the argument that the government... Well, we've had right-wing health ministers all these years, you know, Edith Schippers and Bruno Browns from the VVD, the Liberal Party, and that's been their argument. You can always use condoms. And of course you can, but that's not going to end the AIDS pandemic that we've been fighting 40 years to end. But with PrEP and condoms and everything, we can end it. But that's been an excuse to do nothing from the government.
Okay, so you establish all together, folks, this stichting, so like, what type of action you have to take as PrEP New group? How, you know?
We started off organizing events, just awareness events. So we started, actually the first one in the Bali, and the Femke Halsema was there before she was a mayor. So we arranged, it's basically letting people know that it existed. So a lot of our team go to all the festivals, and especially LGBT festivals, so inform the public. And we've had little successes along the way, like the city council has given extra money to, for their program, because we've had pilot programs, and it's been very limited. Basically, a lot of people haven't been able to get PrEP.
And you know, like, you were a trained medical doctor, right?
That's right, yes, I'm a doctor.
It's so like, and today's about data. Yeah. And for me, when they invite me, I was like, you know, like, data from a queer, particular queer perspectives, they're also about stories or numbers that cannot be shared as well, because they can be weaponized and so on and so forth. So like, did like data or numbers play a role to the process with PrEP, or like how you collect information, like, make sense this?
Yeah, of course. You know, well, indeed, you can compare it to other countries. And in Holland, there was about 1,000 cases of HIV for the last 10 years or so, and it wasn't going down. and you saw other countries that brought in PrEP, in America, but also all the countries around us, France, Belgium, England, they all brought it in, and you saw enormous drops in HIV rates. And now, eventually, that's happening in Holland. We're down to about 400, 300 cases a year. So it's very effective. And you can put your morals aside, but actually, if you want to end the AIDS pandemic, the only way to do it is with PrEP.
Okay, and but also like, okay, that was kind of not the surface, one operational ground of PrEP New Group, but also was another operational ground, right? The Dallas Buyers Club ground.
The what? Yeah.
Yeah, so?
Well, yeah, there was a lot of frustration because PrEP was costing about over 500 euros at the time because they still had a patent.
2016,
so,
right?
Yeah, about 2000. Yeah, I think the patent was 2016. It ran out. So a lot of people couldn't get it. It was cost you a fortune. Doctors weren't writing it. So there was a group. I don't know if you know the Dallas Buyers Club, the film about beginning of the AIDS pandemic.
Maybe break that down a second, because I'm the don there.
It's when, at the beginning of the AIDS epidemic, and a lot of gay men got together and were finding illegal ways to get possible treatments for AIDS, and they made a film about it. And it was a bit the same here. There was a group of people called the PrEP Shop Boys, and they were sort of loosely connected to PrEP New, and they were finding ways to bring PrEP into the country. And so there were airline stewards from certain airline companies. And even a pilot who were bringing it in.
So they went to where? Which country they went?
It was coming from Thailand. There was a doctor, activist, gay doctor in Thailand who was, it was kind of the world back to front. He was checking Dutch patients, checking all their tests. If it was okay, then he'd write a script, and then people would be bringing it over to Holland. So with this whole sort of network of underground drug supply, which was crazy that you think that this happens in Holland and, you know, in this day and age. But it saved and a lot of people getting HIV. You know, it prevented a lot of HIV cases. So whether it's illegal or not, I don't care. I mean, it prevented a lot of cases. So I think, yeah, sometimes you can't rely on the government.
Okay, perfect. I think we're wrapping it up. So, like, baby, we have 3 minutes. Okay. So, like, I think we cover a little bit where PrEP was, where it is today. You told me, like, the other day, you thought that by now it's gonna be like, you can hang the banner, you guys, like, mission accomplished, but that cannot happen.
Not yet. So August this year, they're hopefully going to be through all the health departments for people who want it. You still have to pay for it, so that's going to exclude some people. And we have to see whether it's going to work. There's going to be enough room. But yeah, so we would love to dissolve the organization, but we don't think we can yet. We still have a way to go, unfortunately.
So, like, maybe because I have a minute, well, yeah, so, like, tell us a little bit about DoxyPep.
DoxyPep.
Do you know what that is?
Most people won't know what DoxyPep is. Yeah, you know, yeah. The Americans know what it is. DoxyPep is the latest thing, yeah. It's, I heard about it about 2 years ago, and DoxyPep is another medication that you can take after you've had unsafe sex or where you think you've been exposed, and it lowers your risk of chlamydia and syphilis by 90%. Doesn't lower the risk of gonorrhea. It's been trialed in Holland. This going to start a trial. It's in San Francisco, and I think the health department of San Francisco is already recommending it, and you're seeing huge drops in STI rates there. So, but before it gets introduced into Holland, it's going to be another decade. So, but again, the same thing's happening. People are bringing in pills from Thailand.
Look, thank you very much for sharing all of this with that. I have to say that front of them, but you know it, I really, really love you. And I promise you that in the future, I'm going to try to be softer to situations and people that I don't need to be, because I get it, and I get what you try to transmit to me a lot of years. Whatever doesn't kill me should make me softer. So thank you very much. There is a lot of... yeah, thank you. Yeah, you can take some candy with mixing with PrEP for you, especially. So, okay. The next one is the intermissions, right? With the drag type of things. So, for the next one, and I'm gonna ask you like 2 to 3 times, but max like 2 times, like I think, to participate to something. It's very, very simple. If you don't want to participate, please don't. It's really fine. But for the next one, I would like to ask you to dance together with Eric, the drag king from Burundi, which is living and thriving through HIV and wants to end the violence and dance HIV stigma away. So Eric can come on stage and we can all stand up for just 2 minutes or some that you like. Just stand up and let's dance. Also, let's break this distance. Come here, come here. Let's dance with Eric. Sam, if you don't, it's fine. So, no. Okay, let's start the music of Eric. No, stay with us. Stay with me, baby. Stay with me. Let's all sit so we can have a look to Eric. Thank you very much, and thank you all very much for dancing. And the applause before was for yourself, and now I want the applause for Eric, please. Okay, we're going for the next 10 minutes, and it's going to be a different subject. It's going to be about a trans femicide that happened in 2022 in Estonia, that a person that we know was brutally murdered in Tallinn. So, to know, we're not going to share graphic details. We're going to talk about the bureaucracy of grief. What to do if. Okay? Cool. Can I have on stage Aryelle Freeman Hopelezz? So this one is my oldest sister. We know each other 10 years. Yes. I think we start the same period. The other day in the phone you told me, I remember you, Taka, from the moment that you were wearing the masks, and people not only didn't understand what you were doing with costume, they could not even understand what you were saying. Still, you told me people don't understand what are you saying, but you found a way through. But in 2022, it was a summer, it was, you tested to be sure?
Testing, 1,
Perfect.
2.
So in 2022, it was around middle of July. I was preparing my suitcase to go to the Global AIDS Conference in Montreal. And I've received this phone call that your cousin, Sabrina, was murdered, right?
Yeah.
So I came from Montreal 10 days later, and you had to take some actions to move very, very fast, basically. Why you have to take these actions, and what these actions were?
Well, I get the call, and the immediate action was to just go out and just breathe and think. And when I went out, I see a member of the community, Victoria, Maxima Karim, and from there, we started thinking about how we're going to move forward in terms of identifying the body and getting the body and everything, all the preparation. And one information that I gather was that if the body stays over a particular time, they are just going to cremate it and dispose of it. And that wouldn't be right for someone from my family or from the community itself.
And also it was like a trans body, so it was getting a bit more complicated with the passport, right?
Yeah, it was getting complicated with passport because our passport have a different name versus what she looked like. And also the way that they identify her to me. They identify her to me as a man, in which she literally looked like a woman with boobs and all. And they still identify her as a man. So that has to be cleared up from the get-go.
So you had basically to go there, and I remember you told me you had to take 3 things, right? You had to make a support network, make funding, and find somebody to go there, right?
Right. I started out with details such as because I don't have the money for it, and this wasn't planned, a GoFundMe to start with the preparation in terms of to go there and to start the preparation. Secondly, I think about this country, someone from the trans community got murdered. Am I safe there as another trans woman? Would I be the next statistic? So I think about my support network. Who is my support service? So
was the first person, sorry, that got murdered, the trans woman.
This was the first person in the country
ever
get murdered as a trans person. And so I'm like, okay, I need to have a support service, a support system in place to go there. So I look around and I try to analyze all my friends. And I decided to choose Taka. Why do I choose Taka? I need someone that is focused, someone that is punctual, someone that someone that can actually be someone who can actually manage situation no matter what face them and think fast on their feet, as well as the fact that allowing me to grieve the way that I grieve. Because at some point I got flustered, and it was very much necessary to have someone that you trust, you actually know how they work, and they also understand you as an individual.
But also I remember you had to align with the trans clinic with dinner-dedicated bonds. That was an avocado.
But those came after I selected who I want to do all of this with. Because one, it was instrumental for me to have Taka within all the planning. So here in Holland, I try to find networks or organization or support from the community that either know me or know both of us. And from there, we try to get the police from here involved so that the police from here can get the identity there because of the logistic in terms of you have a trans woman that names a man and then all of those things. And she's also not from Holland. She's registered in Germany. So we have to also cross all of those red tapes. And from there, Dina Bones put me on to the social work at Trans United, Elena Dreesen. And from there, she liaison with Interpol, and from Interpol, because I tried the embassy, nothing. I tried Jamaica embassy, I tried Spanish embassy, I tried the French, I tried every embassy. And also the language barrier. Going there, stipulate that you need interpreter. Also stipulate that you need someone to come as a member from the police unit to come there and to ensure your safety.
So we arrive there and we both look stunning and the cap looks hot. And we have to take certain actions when we arrive there. I can recall them, but you're going to share with us?
Yeah,
it was 3 days, right? And we have to be tak, 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 tak.
We have 3 days. So first day we go there, we get the first information, introduction with the police, and the police tell you what is happening, and then you go to your hotel. The next day you have an appointment to go and identify the body. I go to identify the body. Then after I identify the body, I have to go directly into a police interrogation in which I corrected because I wasn't there. So
Yes.
I told them, interview.
For 4 hours, I fall asleep
and it's for
outside.
4 hours. I was there for 4 hours. And then from that, I have to leave from there, goes directly to the funeral home to start preparing for the way that we're going to carry the body and the preparation for the funeral. Then after that, we come back to Holland.
And anyhow, the body had to be as well cremated because it's also cheaper method, right?
The body has to be cremated because it was cheaper, and also the body was cremated for 2 reasons. The cost effective and the way that she looked. She would never want anyone to see her.
So we arrived back, we had to organize the
Then we have
funeral. Okay, we respect the custom and ethics, but also you had to go to Germany. What you've done in Germany?
What I did in Germany first is go to the Gemeinde, the police, from within the city that she lives, to close down all her insurance, rent, housing, and everything that's legally binding on her name. So I have to go there and close that down and keep a ceremonial wake for her there.
Perfect. And after that, it was around 8 months later. Now we have to go back for the court.
For the court.
Okay.
In which?
And there, I think it was also very important, your role, I remember, in the court, because there was specific information that needs to be shared in the specific ways, right?
Right.
So what we did in the second, or what happens and what happens to this motherfucker, or how it ended up?
Well, we went to court, listening to the report, the testimony from the other accused, including my testimony, in which we never spoke, and I have to sit across from the killers, the 2 accused. And with that, I want to say you have to go there with a sense, with a level of courage where you cannot show any fear. Even if you are fearful, you cannot show it. And also be careful how the judge, the defending lawyer try to twist your words.
Completely, right? He was trying to make it into hate gay crime, basically.
He wanted to make it as if she tricked someone. And the testimony from me in terms of give an account on who she is and how she actually go about her day-to-day sexual life and sexual habits. And I categorically dismiss the defense. And that's what caused it. And now, 1 year later, July 10, 2022, 2023, he got 12 years in prison.
Thank you, Aryelle.
You're welcome.
I really learned a lot being next to you.
I learned a lot from you as well.
Thank you very much.
And as I said, you have to really put your whole hands, when you become vulnerable, in the hands of someone. So you need to be very selective. Yes, you are maybe friends in the club, you may be friends going out in school, wherever. However, that doesn't change the fact that when it's friend time, it's friend time. When it's business time, it's business time. And when it's something like this, serious times, where both of your life can be in danger, you have to select the right person for the right thing. Know when you need the leaves versus the branch, versus the bark, versus the root. and this was my route.
It's fine, thank you.
Thank you.
So, when I met Aryelle, it was 10 years ago, and I met them in the dance floor with Nagato from the House of Miyake Mugler, that today is with Shirleen Miyake Mugler, and I met them wrecking a havoc in the club, completely, and that's how I remember. So I asked Nagato, hey, do you want to perform after Aryelle's speech for us? So, before we put the song, let's do it like that. We don't need the Snoopies, we need the torches. Let's bring the torches. Yeah, it's okay. You really want to give Snoopies to everybody. I really love this attitude. So, how are we gonna do it? I would like... Yeah. I would like to share some torches because I'm coming from DIY anyhow. So like we have our own light system and this is very beautiful, but we can perform with cheap torches. So like this is the torches. Also you can use it later. They have a lot of functions. Play a little bit how to find the function. Yeah, because I don't want the strobo. Yeah, this one, Aryelle, perfect. So this, so like perfect. I also have this, so we can play the music, and let's black out first. Yeah, okay.
Do you want to know what it is? The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
One more time from the House of Miyake Mugler, Nagato Shirleen! Close the butters are from Hema, they're not gonna last long. So like, I think it was Corona, COVID-19. It was like, and I was in the farmhouse in Greece. And my drag son from the House of Løstbois and trans man avocado, Latinx charm, called me and told me, tune in to this live stream. We started a new collective, the Papaya Kuir, and it was part of Papaya Kuir. So it was like, nice. So I tuned in and I saw them and I started following this collective because I thought they tap into a specific agency. So today I invite them, but only one member could come, and this is Alejandra Zabala. So let's come, Alejandra.
No one wants
I think it has to do with how your teeth look. Maybe we'll go back to the other teeth. I'm sorry, Countess. It's not really successful, the candy, and we try so hard. Alejandra, I know as well you have produced two events of Becoming with me that you invited me. But tell us, what is Papaya Kuir? What is it?
Well, we are a collective that started around 2020, and it arrived because we noticed that there were not enough collective or spaces for Latinx trans queer people, so we decided to come together. We're just a group of 6 people that like to do art and kind of have a very dysfunctional Latin family going on, and we were like, let's get together and let's create a space. And since then, we've been working basically on not only giving a space for Latinx trans queer people, but also giving visibility in the city and taking up space. So that's a little bit what we do.
And you work in, let's say, you call it pillars, I call it grounds.
Yeah.
In 3 grounds, I think?
Yeah.
Right?
So we have 3 grounds. One of them is taking up space, going to demos, going to places like this, just giving us visibility. Then the other pillar is creating spaces, like taking up theaters or parties, going into more cultural spaces and invading these spaces. And then the last one, and to me it's also a very dear one, we also create emergency funds and we just help our community. So this is like taking someone to the doctor or doing groceries or finding a jacket if someone doesn't have a jacket for the winter. And yeah, it is very interesting because Latinx people in the Netherlands are not seen as refugees because Latin America is not at war. So if you come here as a Latinx person seeking for asylum or as a migrant, the path is a little bit harder because it's not so easy that the government recognizes you. And what we do is just give a hand to everyone who cannot have a space here. Yeah.
And so you give a hand, but how you break bread?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
You know, like, do you work through funding or not, through donation or not, you know?
It's a little bit mixed. So at the beginning, we used to work like just community-based and getting like help from the community and from people and getting money from people. And at some point we noticed it was not so sustainable, also for ourselves, because we were like working a fucking lot. Oh, can you say fuck here?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, of course.
I
Not
just said
YouTube.
it. We were working a lot, and also we were like, we needed some space and we needed to get paid as well. So we started applying for funding and we started trying to grow ourselves into like an artistic path, and at the same time getting a little bit of that money to help our community and giving those resources to like our people and the people that are around us. Yeah.
Because most of you folks, they were, I mean, you're a producer, but they were artists. I think also like Paola Chica Scratch on Instagram, like Finnish from Sandberg, right? So you were also using them artistic spaces as advocacy spaces,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you brought a book with you,
Oh, yes.
right? Yeah.
It's here. So one of our, she's like our mother. Her name is also Alejandra Ortiz, And she's a Mexican trans woman who's a very bright, beautiful person. And she decided to make a book with like her life experience. Like this is like just a collection of short stories of her life.
Which is also data.
Which is data, yeah, very important, the connection. And then she got published, yes, fucking yes. And the book is De Waarheid zal me bevrijden.
Why isn't that?
It is in Dutch because it's the only way to get published and get funding here in the Netherlands. So she had to write the book in English and then get it translated into Dutch. But it's the story of her life. Ale now lived here for 10 years without a status, so as a person with no BSN number or no bank or anything. And she was denied 3 times asylum here in the Netherlands, even though in Mexico she cannot be a trans woman. And just not so recently ago, she just finally got her asylum, or she got actually a visa. Yes. And yeah, this was basically also because of the book helped her to then apply for a visa as a person that has high skill or high qualified person. Yeah, so in a way also our platform just helps people and gives space people to help and search themselves so they can also have a place here in society, which is very important. Yeah.
Super, thank you, Alex. Super. Go.
Yeah.
You have time, baby.
If you don't know us, just follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram is Papaya Kuir, Kui with a K. Yeah, just like that. Follow us and help us. We always need donations, but we also need support. Sometimes we have a network. So if you want to take someone to the doctor, if you want to translate something for us, if you just want to, you have a lot of money and you want to give it to us. If you have a room, we're constantly looking for a room. So just contact us and thank you, help us. Yeah.
Cool. Very cute. So, yeah, ka. Nice. Yesterday, Countess, this is a candy. Somebody spit it. It's sticky. So yesterday, no, easy, take it easy. Yesterday, the last 6 years, every 3 months at the club, before our weekly party, Blue starts, together with STI SOA Netherlands, former known as AIDS Fonds, and the GGD, we throw a party for newcomers in the country, or asylum seekers that they live in the, as I said, in the centers. And they can come there, they can eat, they can dance, they can also get tested for AIDS, HIV, and STDs. And that's important, happens daytime, and it's all funded through this organization, so it's great that we can do this. And yesterday was pretty dope, because I remember 4 years ago that I had to test with the rapid tests for HIV on stage, so people can feel a bit more comfortable, because, you know, they just arrive, so they don't know what people can do with this information. So, and yesterday we had 160 people and 160 tests, so it was, it was all the tests out, so we're really, really happy. And that can happen only through, yeah, fantastic banana, right? And that can happen only through the perseverance of a lot of people, but one specific that cannot be today with us, because in Harlem with his boyfriend, and he has a long time to see him, and it's Marvin DeVos. So I asked Marvin to send us a video to get an idea about that, and it's a small video that they made. So shall we play this video?
Welkom bij de Sexy Side of the Netherlands. Vanavond hebben we weer een hele bijzondere avond waar alle bezoekers kunnen genieten. Mensen krijgen een warme maaltijd En bovenal kunnen mensen zich natuurlijk laten testen op SOA, HIV en laten vaccineren tegen hepatitis B.
In this place, we found everything we need as asylum seeker and newcomers, and you can be who you are. It's a safe place for us to meet each other, to talk about the healthcare, the HIV, to get tested, especially for the newcomers and the asylum seekers who still live there, who don't have any idea how to get there and how to meet each other and how to get the transportation. Sexicide is offering this space.
Omdat ik zelf binnen die LHBT-groep hoor, vind ik het leuk om ook mensen vanuit andere landen hier te ontmoeten. Omdat ik ook verpleegkundige ben, is het natuurlijk nog leuker om ook wat voor ze te betekenen. Dus informatie te kunnen geven en een soort kennismaking te hebben met hun. En ze duidelijk maken wat wij voor hun kunnen zijn als GGD en kennis te laten maken met de publieke gezondheidszorg.
The Sexicide event, in my opinion, is really important to the LGBT community, especially those living in an assassin.
I see it as like a connection, but also as a party. If you go inside and you see everyone having fun. I got tested today as well, although I'm living with HIV for 7 years now. But yeah, they tested anyway.
Sexual health and mental health is our responsibility. It's an individual responsibility. And therefore it is important that we take care of our own sexual health, we take care of our own mental health as we transition into a new country, into a new society.
Het is ontzettend belangrijk dat we dit organiseren, want we hebben het hier over een doelgroep die vaak vergeten wordt en een geschiedenis heeft van vervolging op basis van wie je bent, wat je voelt. En daarom is dit gewoon nodig, om te laten zien dat het ook anders kan.
Marvin also searched for volunteers. So like, and Countess, I'm gonna go a little bit faster because also performance of students starting, so I don't want like to have all us in the room so they can go. I'm still on my time though, but I'm still gonna go faster. So like, let's do it like this. We're gonna do a participatory thing just for 2 minutes. I've been, I think now to 2 and 1 virtual 3-age international conferences with a group and alone. And if I really learn something, is that every time we try to include a community, a certain part of the same community is being excluded. So I want to demonstrate an exercise with that, which is very nice. And if you do that, I'm going to give you a gift. But I'm going to give you the gift before because I'm a good mother. So like, Countess, let's take the magazines and give that to all of them, and maybe more people can help Countess. Yeah. Also like somebody from the audience, if you like to help. Yeah, we have a lot of magazines. So like, this thing is a catalog that Marvin made. I got 200 copies. Yeah, Marvin made this catalog. It's also in more languages, but I give it, just pass it around. And it's information about newcomers in the Netherlands. So like, this catalog has information about sex work, drugs, STIs. It's like a whole data on its own, this thing. You can keep this catalog, you can read it. I think it involves, a lot of people. You can read this catalog. And if you read it and you don't see that you have enough information, you don't need it, give it to somebody else or leave it out of your doctor's office, okay? So like, but also it's being translated in more languages, but I think for English here is okay because they come from that academy. Cool. So like, how are we gonna do it? We're not gonna do the whole song, Arthur. We're gonna do 2 minutes, gonna tell you we do it, okay? We're just gonna do only 2 minutes. So like, yeah. So like, I have these woolen balls. Can you have one? So what we're going to do, how to demonstrate, Banana, come on stage to demonstrate it. But I don't think you know what to demonstrate. So we're gonna close the eyes, the ones that they're going to close their eyes, but if you don't close your eyes, don't take part. So like, I'm gonna pass you the ball. You have your eyes closed, you keep a bit of the thread, yeah, and you pass the ball to the next person. And now I give the ball and I pass the ball to the next person, but with closed eyes. So like, yeah. So you're basically waiting or searching for the ball. I think it's something very novel about waiting to feel included in the first place. So like, a contest, baby, yeah, let's go, we have more. Yeah, no shelf contest, that's nice curating, bravo, nice. So like, let's also get some balls back there. Yeah. So we have it all in the space. I brought more than enough, and let's see who can be, yeah. What? Yeah, like chocolate wars, nice. So when the music's gonna start, we're gonna close our, yeah, maybe this one, but yeah, so we have, don't start yet, eh? So like, you can also go, yeah. Cool. You have your thread? Okay. Who wants to play this game? Okay, cool. Nice, cool. So we're closing our eyes, just 2 minutes, right, folks? Okay, and we start the music, and I'm gonna count it so we know when it's 2 minutes. Perfect. Eyes closed. Seconds. Be careful if you throw the balls, eh? People can get hurted or scared. 30 more seconds. Folks, passing the ball doesn't mean throwing the balls around, but great. So, who is being excluded? Here. Okay. Very nice, right? Can we have an applause, the included ones for them, they're being excluded? Cool. Nice. Okay. In 2019, I started Drag King Academy. We started Drag King Academy with Julius Stahli, and the first Drag King House of Løstbois was formulated. One of the first members that was really important to me 6 months later decided to go to do their PhD in Arctic. I was like, yeah, but make sure that you continue doing drag, even in Arctic or wherever you go. So can I have on stage Vinny von Vinci? I'm scared so many lenses. Okay, Vinny von Vinci, what your research will be about?
Okay. Okay, so as Taka said, in 2019 I left for the Arctic. I'm doing my PhD research there on polar bears. And I worked together with a team of biologists and hunters and elders from 2 different communities in Nunavut. So this is the Canadian part of the Arctic. And what I specifically do is I look at different kinds of knowledges. So on the one hand, we have the Western institutionalized academic science. And on the other hand, we have Inuit science. So this is Inuit knowledge based in the land and with the land. Knowledge is land. And the question is, how can we bring these 2 kinds of knowledges together, and do we even want to, right? So that's the kind of things that I'm exploring for 4.5 years now.
Okay, and you've been like as MX Science in conferences in Toronto like this, and you have also give workshops in the Inuit community like this. Why did you did that, or yeah, like?
Yeah, so this is one part of my research. In the club, in Club Church, I perform as Vinny von Vinci, but this right here is MX Science. And it's basically a tool to, it's a conversation starter, right? Especially for the people that I work with, my colleagues, to kind of like start having a conversation about some of the assumptions that we don't think about, like what actually is a scientist, what is knowledge, what is data? What does it mean to take notes? What does it mean to collect data and take it out of the Arctic? So I did that indeed in different places. So in a workshop up in the Arctic, I facilitated the final workshop of the project that I'm part of, like this, with about 30 scientists calling in or being there. And I also indeed staged an intervention at the biggest Arctic science conference in Toronto. Yeah, they didn't know what hit them.
Because you told me that in this type of science attracts a lot of type of Marlboro Man, specifically the Arctic as the last frontier. So what is the Marlboro Man and how did it relate to it? Do they stop smoking or they smoke more after they saw you?
Yeah, I think, you know, this is science drag, right? But it also addresses gender, and it addresses a couple of other things, like what does it mean to be human when you work in the Arctic? Because the Arctic itself and wildlife, especially polar bears, it really attracts a certain kind of scientist, right? A certain kind of masculinity. And I didn't come up with the Marlboro Man. It was actually one of my colleagues that referred to himself as a macho Marlboro Man. And basically, for the people that don't know, like the Marlboro Man is a marketing figure from the cigarette brand Marlboro, who is supposed to like represent like the rugged, individualistic, heroic guy. So some scientists that go to the Arctic right now, they like really fashion themselves as being able to play a cowboy there, right? Like to fly helicopters and dart polar bears, and live out this fantasy of, you know, like being a real man.
Yeah, and also like, okay, and then I remember you telling me the interactions was also that people take a lot of, they thought they take a lot of space, where they do the same somehow with where they take, where the research is based, but also when you teach the workshops in the Inuit community, how do you do it? Just appear one day? What type of technicality of drag you have to introduce that there? Like, how do you do that?
Yeah, I think the conference and the community-based drag went very differently. I've been there now for I've been going up and down for 3.5 years, and I know the communities and the people that I work with quite well, right? So it's not like I just showed up one day looking like this. Hello, you know, they know who I am. I showed them some pictures. I went to their primary schools and taught the 4th grade class like this. Told them a little bit about science. And I very explicitly asked them for permission, right? I explained what my ideas, what my plan was, whether they agreed. I invited them to join in, you know, bring a silly hat to the workshop. I think it's very important as well to be playful, right? So to not take yourself too serious as a scientist. And they loved it. Like the people in the communities, they really enjoyed it. Every time they saw me, they started laughing and making jokes.
You know, like me and a very dear person to me that it's here and it's very inspiring to me. We see costume as a way of how to relate to society or social change. It's like Carly Everard. Yeah, Carly just had an injury in her hand. Can you all say, better have Carly?
Beterschap, Carly.
A bit more unisono, a little bit with more energy. Cool, cool, cool. Can you break down for me and Carly and all of us what type of science going in this costume? Because you told me the other day you combined type of different science in the costume.
Yeah, so I think this was very relevant when I went to the conference because some people got quite agitated when I showed up like this, thinking that I was singling out biologists or natural science. I think, the lab coat is quite clear symbolism of biology or lab science. But I'm also wearing a lot of lenses, right? So I'm not just singling out one kind of science. It's really about the institutionalized, like Western knowledge, including anthropology, like the gaze, right? Like the power to define other people, to define other people's knowledge. But also, like I said before, there's also like a little bit it's a more than human look as well, right? So it's also addressing this question, like what does it mean to be a human working up in the Arctic with indigenous communities on indigenous land? And, let's see what else. I think I also know that when I walk around, I look like a teddy bear. So there's also the idea, it's like I'm supposed to also look a little cute and inviting, right? Like it's not the idea that I'm aggressively bombing your conference. I want you to come up and actually be curious and enjoy the colorful, playfulness and cuddliness, and have a conversation with me and get engaged and ask questions and not just, I want to unsettle and invite.
So it's my last question, and it's like, okay, now you have to give your work, right? This PhD, that in your case is dissertation, right? You got to write. So what is the work and how are you going to do that now with this?
Yeah, I think I did a lot of other things as well beyond this drag. And so, for example, I also made a film with the people that I worked with. And to me, it's about what you do up there, right? That's the work. As far as I'm concerned, I'm done. It's what you do in these communities and how you do it. But of course, indeed, I'm trying to finish my PhD, so I need to write. And what I'm trying to do is actually extend that open-endedness, the invitation, into my writing. And then I think, you're also extending that invitation not just to the people that you're working with, but also the larger academic community, to extend these conversations and be curious without kind of proclaiming the truth, right? I'm not here saying this is what it's supposed to be like, or this is what you're supposed to do every workshop that you're hosting. But yeah, so I write open-endedly, or at least I'm trying.
Okay, thank you very, very much. And thank you, Vinny von Vinci and MX Science. Is something else you want to say? We're good, right?
Sorry?
Is something else you want to say?
No, I'm done. Thank you for having me. This is lots of fun.
Please eat some Snoopers.
Yes, I will.
Please eat some Snoopers. So, folks, this is the last 3 minutes, and I invite Hellena. I met Hellena. It's part of the Drag House of Løstbois. And I met Hellena where I got an invitation from a person that I'm really happy to call friend. And I think it's my favorite visual, coming from visual artist, is Zana Ivanova there. I'm sorry, Zana. So Zana Ivanova that invited me to teach to her class in Arnhem, in Bear, the Fine Arts program. And there I met Ann Cooper there as an artist, and now the graduate, and is also Hellena, who is a drag performer. So we're gonna take the torches back, and Hellena gonna come, yeah? So now we know, we go blackout and torches up, blackout, yeah. Okay, folks, I'm done. That was it. Before we bring everybody on stage, I want to say that I'm starting a new project. They call it The Closet, and it's for teenagers from the age of 14 to 18 years old, with the support of the Erwin Olaf Foundation. I just make the announcement publicly, so for me it means a lot. If you have Instagram, I can also send you the email. The Closet, like coming out of the closet, .Amsterdam. It's for people to dress up and play a little bit with drag and costume, which I think is very important when you don't have yet a community or you don't yet can be able to enter places and clubs and this type of venues or wherever. So if you like, go and follow that or say the word or come to me later. And again, I want to thank for this project my drag mother that really helped me a lot the last years for that. Carly Everard, that from last week doesn't stop talking to people about it. You, Nikki Milioni, my friend, that you really helped me behind the scenes a lot. And my classmates or like fellows and tutors from Das Third, which is the place that I try to spit some shit and see how they come back from the art world. So now we're gonna do the line. So I would like to get everybody that participate to this, including Countenance, including the Snoopy. I got to get everybody on stage, like Jennifer, Alejandra, Aryelle, Eric. Ah, so cute. I think you're going to snatch that from me. I think you're going to snatch that from me. So let's, this is who we are. We can start playing loud the music. No questions going to be asked. If you want, is everybody? Let's to be sure. I forgot who participated. So, but what we can do is that if you like, for the next 15 minutes, you can mingle with my friends and ask them questions, or if you have curiosity, just ask them wherever you like. Later we're gonna go out there and maybe try to pull out a party. I brought a speaker with me. So thank you for coming and thank you all of these guys. Let's do it like theater. Let's do it again.